He is a con artist and a professional one at that. Johan is a part of the animation team. He sleeps with women and benefits from gifts and money because he was my husband. Done.
Started posting things on social media. I want people to know what he's done to me, who he is messing with here.
To be honest with you, I respect the fact that Charlotte didn't just lay down. I respect the fact that despite the fact that she genuinely thought that this man really wanted her, because of the heartbreak and because of the disappointment and I guess even the embarrassment, she was like, listen, enough's enough. I've got to find out if he's been doing this elsewhere. And I get it. She needed her closure. She needed to understand why he did this to her. So therefore she can pick herself up and then move forward. Because sometimes in life when people do evil things to us, it's hard to pick ourselves up and move forward when we don't understand why. And definitely makes the journey even harder than where it should be. So I understand her doing what she did and why she needed to do it. But with that being said, let's continue.
I ain't some little bitch who's going to sit here and take it. Guess what? There's more girls. And there's a lying piece of shit.
Forward to tell me that they've actually been in a relationship with Johan.
When?
For the last 6 months.
Absolutely brutal. Find out that the man that you kept traveling back and forth to see, you kept spending money on, this whole time he had a whole other woman here, there. Savagery. I mean, listen, this isn't the type of closure that somebody would want to have. Sometimes in life, the closure you have may not be the best one, but it can always generally help you move forward because it gives you an understanding.
Before and after the wedding then?
Yeah. Elle did get in contact with me and she's been in a relationship with him, shot some messages.
This is since the wedding?
Yeah.
A busy boy.
Another girl has come forward.
One that is quite a bit older than me. We have one that's a little bit younger than me. One anonymous and a very young girl.
I can imagine for Charlotte, in a weird way, like she's probably happy that she wasn't the only victim because it makes her feel less stupid. You know what I mean? It makes her feel less played on because if it came out that there was no other women and this literally just happened to her, that he may have been maybe one, her first victim, which is something that she would have never known about if he was. But to know that there are obviously other women that have also fallen for this trap, to be honest with you, that would make me feel good personally. You know what I mean? Because at least I know I'm not the only one that got wound up by this guy. But she does also discover that he does target certain women.
Individual. God, there could be hundreds.
He would get whatever he could out of them. Ask for like fragrance, whatever he could have. Yeah, a serial con artist.
We're all very different, but there is one thing in common. We're all quite vulnerable.
And I felt like it was very key for her to find out, you know, why he went after her. It was very key for her to find out that he goes after people that are vulnerable, because her finding out that he goes after women that are vulnerable allows her to know and understand that he went after because she's vulnerable. So therefore it helps her be able to hopefully move forward, build her own strength, build her own character, because she's now going to learn more than ever that really and truly she really is that vulnerable. Because sometimes when we are vulnerable, we don't understand how vulnerable we are. So this experience will definitely put her in a position where she understands how vulnerable she really is, and why it was so easy for her to fall for him in all of his games and all of his tricks. So there are positives, of course, from the experience. It's just a matter of how you want to look at them, if you know what I mean. If you go for an experience like this and you take everything that went down as a negative, you're never going to grow, you're never going to do better, and you're more likely to end up with the same person again. But if you're able to take the positives or the things you can learn from this experience, you got a less chance of being able to go through this again and less chance of being able to meet someone else who's going to be an absolute douchebag.
A Sanky Panky is someone that like does this as a living. They reel you in, get whatever they can out of you.
Yeah. They're called other things in different countries, but in the Dominican, it's a Sanky Panky.
To be honest with you, I feel like it's a very good thing that this has happened. Well, it's not a good thing that's happened to her, but it's a good thing that this has happened on UK version of 90 Day Fiancé. So therefore, this can bring alert to the people in the UK who don't watch 90 Day Fiancé pre-90. So the people who did not know what 90 Day Fiancé, the people that did not know what 90 Day Fiancé UK, no, 90 Day Fiancé was in general, the franchise. And for the people who have now been introduced to it in the UK, they can now be educated on the fact that these type of people do exist, and they need to be careful when they go abroad for XYZ.
Usually the looks which attract women.
Tick.
Money? Did you give him money?
Obviously, I got him his roof.
Right.
The next stage, Johan did tell me that his mother was in hospital and that he needed money to pay for her medical bills. Tick.
And everything else.
Deeper and deeper, and I worried every time I went out there. He's just a vile, dirty bastard.
To be honest with you, that's just the man being polite. I promise you now, if this wasn't being filmed, the mom wouldn't be just saying he's a vile, dirty bastard. She'd be saying all sorts of things, you know what I mean? Trust me, I know a British mom when I see one that's ready to say the things that she needs to say because she's that furious with the fact that her daughter's been taken advantage of.
Even when people told me no, I believed in him.
And as you can see there, throughout the episode itself in particular, Joanne was always strongly denying all allegations made against him, as you can see here. My apologies, 1 second. Yeah, all allegations made against him, and says that their relationship was not a scam. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, he can sit there and say that it wasn't a scam. He can sit there and say that allegations are false. But one of the women that came forward to Charlotte, she came along with receipts. She also had pictures, text messages, or obviously pictures you can't fake. Well, you can, to be fair, but you're not going to. You know what I'm saying? So that is a very, very strong evidence itself in particular against him, you know. And to be honest, the fact that he married her and then decided to then, that's it, you know what I mean, like that says it all. But if you ask me personally, I think the reason why he strongly denied all of these allegations is because he knows that he's now been on a show, and because he's been on a TV show, he knows that his identity has now been exposed, and because his identity has been exposed, he needs to make sure that the people who are watching this don't think that this was legit, so therefore he can continue doing this to other women that obviously come to the DR. This kind of reminds me of Daniel and Johan from 90 Day Fiancé, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, where in reality, we all felt as if that guy was literally doing the same thing that, Johan was doing in this situation in particular. Difference is that he was dealing with a different type of woman, you know what I mean? But either way though, it is kind of sad that she's now married somebody, and when it's going to come to them getting a divorce, I don't know if that's something that's going to even going to happen, because of course he needs to be on board to do that, unless her getting married in the DR doesn't really matter for her in the UK, because I know sometimes some marriages, actually no, Actually, no, I don't know that, to be fair. But I wouldn't be surprised if getting married in a different country didn't affect you getting married again in another country. I wouldn't be surprised to be fair, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a loophole in everything. So I do wonder, when she does finally find the person that she desires, and she does obviously decide to get married again, I do wonder if she still needs to get that divorce off of him, or is she able to still get married in the UK because maybe a marriage in the DR isn't that key. But then again, at the same time, I said it before, there's a chance that the marriage that the wedding that they had, it could have been fake. It could have easily been fake. But it seemed to me as if this is a scheme that a lot of people are in on. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was if the wedding wasn't actually real, like in terms of the marriage certificate. But hey, either way though, I really hope that this does not stop Charlotte getting married in the future, because if it does, then that's gonna suck. But at the same time though, marriage isn't everything. You can still be with someone happily ever after without even having to sign your names on a dotted paper. You know what I mean? The dotted paper, really and truly, I think it only matters, one, if you're having kids, because sharing the same last name. Two, obviously when it comes to inheritance, wills, or that kind of stuff, I think those are really the logistics of signing papers, you know what I mean? But when it comes to signing papers, does it define your love? No, it can't. But with that being said though, let's move on to the last couple.
I'm like a project to you. Tell me what to do, how to improve my life. I feel like a project. Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel like I'm a project to you?
Guide you, I should tell you like what to do. As a good boyfriend, I should guide you, I should tell you like what to do.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Sprite's got a good point. I just feel like the way Sprite delivers his stuff isn't something that's a liking to John, do you know what I mean? I do feel like maybe when he's delivering these things, he's trying to say it in a nice way, but he's such a straightforward, blunt person, it's hard to read how he means it. Which is why it's a communication thing that John should have really learned.
Maybe I pressure you too much, and I just want to say that my intention is to be good to you. It's not about liking the body. I don't like you to be like unhealthy.
Even if I don't lose weight, I promise you I'm not going to gain any more.
I mean, listen, even if you don't gain anymore, it doesn't change the fact that your body's going to be in an unhealthy state. He literally said that it's not about losing the weight. It's about you having a healthier lifestyle.
Yes.
Honestly, when I first saw that he was gonna propose, I was like, why? Your relationship is nowhere near in the place where marriage should even be a thing. But anyway, what happens next?
Oh, impressive.
Jeez, like, It was wonderful for a few days after, but the honeymoon period is over.
But I miss soup.
It's not a restaurant. You can't just order what you want. Wish you could ask for things nicer.
I didn't do anything. I just asking for 3 eggs. I don't to all my friends.
To be fair, I'm surprised they even had a honeymoon period, to be honest with you, because these two have never screamed anything positive.
And all the people, even my mom, they don't get angry at all.
But this is how I'm feeling, Sprite. I'm telling you how I'm feeling.
Like, it's 3 eggs. What's happening?
I felt like it was an order, Sprite. It felt like you were ordering me to do something.
I
didn't want to do it.
You don't want to do it. I will do it.
I can do it, Sprite. Just...
It's fine.
And there goes the wedding ring. It's fun, isn't it? It was easy to give the wedding ring, to accept the wedding ring, as well as it was easy to throw away the wedding ring. Or the engagement ring, sorry, the engagement ring.
Sprite! Come get your ring!
Stay anymore. I'd rather go back to Thailand and never come back.
There's no future for our relationship, and we just might as well end it now.
The reality is that there was never any future for your relationship. The fact that you didn't see that is crazy to me. The fact that you still went out your way to propose is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because the reality is that their relationship had nothing but just negative vibes. There was nothing in their relationship that I would have said says that there's strength in their relationship. There's nothing in their relationship that I would have said it shows that there's going to be hope, that they're going to be, you know, a strong unit. None of that ever came to mind, because literally their communication style was always off from the very, very get-go. And it's something that I didn't see ever improving, you know, and clearly John was willing to ignore that because he was looking at little bits and bobs that he can kind of capitalize on. And he thought marriage was going to be one of those things, because obviously he wants Sprite to be closer to him. But at the end of the day, you sometimes in life you got to be real with yourself. But to be honest with you, I am happy that in the end John was able to say, you know what, this isn't going to work. And I say that because I felt like for Sprite, it was always going to be easy for him to walk away and move on with his life. But for John, I always felt like it's going to be a bit more challenging. So for him to understand that this isn't going to work is something that he needed to know, he needed to feel, he needed to understand, which is a very good thing. So that means their breakup can then end off in a more healthy way. But with that being said, though, next week it is the tell-all, and I'm looking forward to the tell-all. Now, I don't know if we're having a 1-part tell or a 2-part tell for the UK one. I hope it's a 2-part one, but from the preview, it felt like a 1-part. You know what I mean? But either way, though, the fact we're getting a tell-all regardless for another season, which is fantastic, because we had it last season, so it's good to see it for this season as well. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions down below in the comment section, and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.